that's kind of my view of our place here, and I think it's very similar, in some respects anyway, to what you explained today.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is. You know, there's a lot of different slight variations on the same idea because it's such a valid idea that, you know.
Amen. It should be.
People just come up with it on their
Do you think
own,
it's well
even if
known?
they don't hear it from anyone. Yeah, I mean, maybe not in the way I said it, but it's the basis of all religion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is.
Well, and beyond religion, because we're talking afterlife.
Yeah.
And religion, it seems, perhaps determines a person's sense of the afterlife, but not necessarily.
I think the only reason
because what do the non-religious do?
I think really that most people just want to believe that they're scared, even if they're not afraid to die, they're terrified of them not being alive anymore in any form or fashion. Like, they're scared to death to lose their personality. They're scared to death to lose what makes them them and all their memories and
Seems rough, doesn't it?
feelings and.
It's a rough life. If
But
you're living in regret, in a
it's
sense.
not. I mean, that's life. You know what I'm saying? It's here and then it's gone.
You just take solace in the fact that it's temporary.
Your life. You know what I'm saying?
Temporality.
Temporary, and if you believe, you know, that it just keeps happening over and over, it's more or less inconsequential too. You're here to learn, and that's it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
And nothing else.
It's all about
I mean,
how you go about
you know, you can get wrapped up in your own problems or your own, you know, life, but it doesn't make it any more important. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people can't deal with that. A lot of people have to feel relevant in some way.
Yeah.
Which is,
Well,
what is relevant?
exactly. That's the question it asks, because you bring up all these huge terms. Ego and relevance are huge. These touch on context for me, by the way. But what do you mean by relevance?
What do other people mean by relevant? And why do people think who's important? What's important?
And who cares? Who
I don't
cares?
think anything is.
Yeah.
But if you say, "Oh no, man," you know.
See, that's where I'm different.
Well,
I think a lot's important, but it's only as important. It's only as important as I make it. Once I die, it's not important anymore. Like you're saying, you lose that ego.
Well, I think the only thing that's important is, you know, personal spiritual development over the course of your life. Anything else you do is just inconsequential, time wasting. Your job in your house. And,
What is the point of life?
you know, like maturing spiritually.
Maturing spiritually. So you're a spiritual person then?
Oh yeah.
Because the spiritual person is the only kind of person who would say that.
Right.
I didn't know that, really. Actually.
Even though it's a cycle, you know, even though it's a
Such a more
cycle,
theoretical.
it's also a path. You know what I'm saying? There is an end to it, but you spiral down it like that. You just keep going in circles. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, I think for every person, it ends when they basically think themselves out of thinking. You know what I'm saying? You progress to a point where you realize that you can't, no matter what you do or accomplish or have, it's never going to be enough. There's still something going to be missing. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
And once you pinpoint what that is, then you can start working towards it. But, and it's tough. Because once you know, it makes it even worse because you kind of know what you should be doing. But
Now you're bound.
it's pretty tough to do. You know what I'm saying? You pretty much have to give up
Life as you know
regular
it.
life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's not
There's
a goal.
no
of
way
mine.
to strive for that and also live in any kind
In the
of
modern
normal
world.
life. You
Yeah.
can't do it
It's not a goal. of
because
mine.
you have to be completely consumed by a bunch of to live here. You know what I mean? You have to because you have to keep the lights on and you have to. You know.
Yeah. Which is wild because I mean it's not that tricky for the Jew here, the young Jew. Not for me. I mean my friend.
Well, it's not that tricky, but
not really.
the whole thing just reaffirms your position as yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I'm working to help me and my wife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
A discernible end.
we're us. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
we're living our life. You know what I'm saying? And not just living life.
I like that. Do you take solace in this? I mean, because what you're saying is there is individuality, which infers autonomy. Free will? Am I right?
Yeah.
Humans have free will.
I believe that, but I think it's all pretty much.
What you make of it?
I think it's pretty much. I believe in destiny, even though I believe in free will. I think whatever choice you make you were already going to make it.
So there is predetermination.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I don't do that.
I believe in that. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You know, the Jews actually was kind of an interesting surprise, and it's just before I got dunked. He said, and you know the Jews believe in reincarnation, right?
So you don't believe in karma then?
I believe life is the great equalizer. So in a sense, that's karma. Karma is a word for.
In a sense, that's predetermination too.
Well, there are rules. There are. I mean, if you look at I saw a thing the other day on TV, and it was the atmosphere. It broke the atmosphere into its 4 parts, and there are rules. Stop signs are good. They're safe. Rules are there, and this is one of those rules. You know, so I think life is the great equalizer, and karma is a word for it. You know, because life is the great equalizer, and I'm with you. I believe God is by definition, that being one. Do we agree on this? Because I don't know. In terms of your sense of God, is God one or multiples?
Well, I'd say it's
in as it's known.
It's just it's like gravity. It's just a thing.
Right, but
is gravity one or is it multiple?
But are there others who do the same thing?
Other what?
Like, in terms of how this all got here, and I don't mean this is in Earth, I mean this is in whatever the human brain can even strive to achieve to understand, or rather not understand, but consider. What then? Is kind of my question. Are you left with one or multiples? Do multiple beings, if any beings, exist?
I don't believe God is a being.
Okay, what is he?
God is existence.
I agree.
If there wasn't existence, there would not be God. If there wasn't God, there wouldn't be existence.
I agree. It's the beautiful.
Chicken or the egg.
I was gonna say
it's the same thing.
Absolutely, but
it's not a person. It's not a dude. It's not a dude sitting there like looking down, like, oh,
yeah.
I got you.
So, do you believe in? I mentioned earlier blessings. Do you believe in blessings then?
I believe in miracles.
That's a blessing and a half. So you do.
Yeah, I believe that sometimes things happen that are outside the normal guidelines of the way things should happen.
So you do. Oh, interesting.
You know,
and
things that break the pattern. You know, the mold of the.
Yeah.
You know,
things that are unusual.
Times out of 100, that would never have happened. Well, you know, it was supposed to be the one time right then, or it wouldn't have happened that way. You know what I'm saying?
Are you saying you chalk that up to statistics, or something else?
No, statistics have nothing to do with it. It's just the way of explaining it.
No. I'm trying to get clear on this. So what you're saying is you do believe in
I think everything. I don't think anything really happens on accident. Like, everything that happens was supposed to happen just that way for whatever reason, and you don't have to understand it, and there doesn't really have to be a rhyme or reason to it. But there was, whether you know it or not. You know what I mean?
Word.